Greetings one and all, this is Lloyd Brown and welcome social media family to my vlog series. Whatever you want to call it. No, welcome to being Lloyd Brown. That's what I'm calling it. And this is episode 3. And I'm calling this episode 1982 because that's the point we're up to. So I've arrived back in the UK. I arrived back in the UK after leaving Jamaica, being devastated by what had happened there. I arrived in the UK and went to live with my brother, Leroy, who I have to say, he didn't make the trip to Jamaica. He didn't emigrate with us to Jamaica. It was me, my mum, my dad and my sister. Leroy had stayed in the UK at that point. So before I actually moved to his yard, I was living in St. Mark's Rise, where a brethren of mine, well, his name is Fats, he had a shubbing them time there, and he had living quarters upstairs, so I'd basically go there and stay there. Within a week of me living there, the one bag of clothes I had was stolen. One bag of clothes I had was stolen. So I left and I went to live with my brother. And he helped me out as best way as he could. But I had to get back on my feet in some way. So those times it was the DHSS, and we were able to apply not for loans but for grants, and the grants were for you to get a washing machine, a fridge and a cooker, and they would want to see the receipts for those things as well. But me, what did I get out the money that I got? I got a stereo. I got a stereo and two guitar speaker amps, and just made mixtapes from my brother's vinyl collection. And I remember painting the walls in the bedsit black with the logo for Playboy in blue. I'll never forget that. I don't know what possessed me, but that's where my head was at. But upon the gravity of what went on in Jamaica, and just the relief to be back in the UK, away from all of that crap, and losing my dad, and in essence losing my mum and my sister, and feeling that I abandoned them, it depressed me. And it depressed me really, really, really badly, to the point where I drew my curtains in my yard, didn't eat, didn't wash, just laid in my bed. And them times I could sleep for like 18 hours a day. I would sleep for 18 hours a day. And some friends of mine who were around at that time, of course they were concerned for me. So they became proactive in my depression. They knocked on the door. They burst into my yard. They dragged me and flung me in the shower and said, "We are going out tonight, Brownie. which we did, and we went to, I think it was Wally Foster's community centre. Was it in Archway? I can't remember. But when I went there, it was like a it was like a concert. It was like a youth club concert kind of vibe. And I remembered watching this band. This band came on, and the band had a female lead singer, and her name was Michelle. And she actually made me laugh for the first time in a long time. How she made me laugh was that she had done one of the most unprofessional things that a singer or a vocalist can do, which was actually chew gum. She would literally go on the stage and say, I want to sing a song, right? And it's called You Just Want to Use Me. You just want to use me to get what you can. She cracked me up. I couldn't stop laughing. And then in the intermission, somebody went on stage and basically asked, in the meantime, would anybody like to come up on stage and do a turn? So I got thrusted to the stage. And you got to remember, it's like I spent a portion of time in Jamaica, so I caught on to the my patois was raw, and it was a country patois accent as well. You know, where you don't say only, you say ongle. Ongle means only. That kind of country twang. But my party piece was actually impersonating Gregory Isaacs, Dennis Brown and Eka Mouse. So I went up on stage and basically done all of that, and it was met with a rapturous round of applause. And then I came off stage, and then I remembered a Ras named Ojemba, who was the manager of the group, saying to me, I think you got a nice voice. Was wondering if you would like to audition for our group. And I said, yeah, okay. The group was Sweet Distortion. And the group consisted of Floyd, who played drums, Colin, who played bass, Marvin, who played keyboard, Otis, who played lead guitar at that time, and Michael Weeks, who is now known as Remy Jalor. And I auditioned for the group and got the job. (1982) was a wonderful year for reggae music. Absolutely wonderful year for reggae music. I mean, you had people like Desmond Dekker and Ken Booth and Dennis Brown, like in the 70s, that made headway with reggae music in the UK. But there was just something different about 1982, because you had Sugar Minott was in the charts with Good Thing Going. You had Dennis Brown with Lovers Found His Way that was in the charts. You had Gregory Isaacs with Night Nurse. It was just healthy. It was like the top 20 in the charts was just black people. It was just black people. Do you know what I mean? And it was just nice. It was just nice to see and to feel everyone embracing the music that was coming from black people, you know? So it was good. And a little known group at the time called Musical Youth, who just came out with Pastor Dutchie and was shot into the stratosphere. And we were fortunate enough to support some major artists at various milestones in recording. Like, for example, Gregory Isaacs. We supported Gregory Isaacs when he performed at the Academy, that famous gig. And also Aswad when they recorded the Live and Direct album we supported them. We done a lot of shows with Prince Lincoln. We done Search for a Star. We had played at Search for a Star. That was coordinated by Flip Fraser for The Voice. We done quite a few concerts. We worked with the Instigators, with Matthew and Fluxy, and you know, we were getting to be known as players on the live circuit, but we had not recorded a record as yet. In the meantime, I was still serving my tenure with sound systems like Eastman from East London and Jamarcus from North London and Exodus, you know, as my extracurricular activities, and they had sounds like Bushmaster, and so I've been around the block when it comes to sound systems. So the whole sound system thing and my work as a band member and playing live kind of ran in tandem. And that was a release and a relief for me. But at the same time, I had to get my mother's affairs sorted out, because they had an immigration act where I think it was in 1984 where paperwork had to basically be submitted in for the Windrush generation, as it were, to have all their documentation intact so that they can return or even stay in the United Kingdom. So I had to do all the work to get her back in to the United Kingdom. After I'd done that, managed to get my mum back over and my sister. But then where my anger was tempered by getting on with the music and doing the music and my profile being raised in the music, my anger was less tempered by my mum coming over and was only able to find a house to rent on the same street that my mum and dad came to live in 1963, Candler Street in Tottenham, just by Seven Sisters Road. The same road where my mum and dad moved to first, where my dad pushed the push bike and me in a pram in the winter in the driving snow. The same street, like 20 odd years later, or nearly 20 odd, yeah, 21 years later. And that just brought up pent up anger and frustration, because I saw my mum having to start again, literally start again. And I hated Jamaica for that. I hated Jamaica for that. And as a result of that, more trauma began to surface, of which I will tell you about in another video. But in the meantime, I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank you guys for stopping by. And as always, you don't know the coup. People, please abstain from foolishness. Even if it's your own foolishness, confront it, deal with it, park it one side, move it on. So until I catch you on the next one, people, please stay blessed. I'm gone.